We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's. We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today we start the new year with an NFC matchup out west between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway from Santa Clara. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. Running left, here's Mitchell. He'll get this up to about the 44.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. 65, 65. Rush in.
They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Mayfield. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Seahawks are on the board here first in the season opener. Extra point attempt here still to come. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. On 2nd down, here's Mitchell. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. I'm coming after you.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. A little juke. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season. And they'll get another shot here with a 1st and 10. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you.
and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a real...
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And the 49ers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. That was one I kind of saw coming, Charge. He had a free safety just hanging back there over the middle, waiting. And he saw that ball go in the air, and he jumped on it.
And I don't know why the quarterback didn't see that. That was just your standard cover 3, which means the free safety in the middle of the field, the 2 corners, and they divide the field in thirds. But when you have a free safety with range, like a good center fielder, he can go from side to side. And make plays on the football as he did there.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw, it's Lance. They'll run the screen with Mitchell. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Come on, 38. Ready.
On 3rd down, here's Mitchell. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Mayfield on 3rd down from his end zone. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10. Right at the 50-yard line. Drive starts with a give to Mitchell. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it,
7 yards on first down. That fits the bill.
They fake the handoff. Now Lance. That's caught by Werner, the tight end. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Going for it, it's Mitchell. And trying to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. He needed 2. He only got 1. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Mayfield. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he almost had his 2nd pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mayfield going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And this one incomplete. Couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
When I see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset, this is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. A great effort there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Seahawks go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0.
Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Come on, set. Blue, 32.
Right back to Mitchell here. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Ready?
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA, with a sack.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And with the play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
On the double.
Here's Lance. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now it's Mitchell. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with a 14-0 lead, they may just try to get this to the locker room. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Mayfield looks to throw. Man open, here is Jones. 30, 10, 5, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. Making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Seahawks are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0.
Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. That is going to be a safety.
Right now, they're just trying to get to halftime because they need a break. This game, it's been a shellacking in every way, and they just got driven backwards for a safety.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Keep making plays like that, baby.
And what is this? They're lining up here to punt on first down. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Third quarter begins with a run by Walker. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Walker. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Third and short yardage. Mayfield. Caught by Jones. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 35. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a 3rd here, and it's good for a first. Up the middle, here's Walker. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball, and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Niners are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Lance's throw taken in by Samuel. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Off of play action, here's Lance. And that is caught. What a catch inside the 5. A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal. Now Lance. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
They'll try to run with Mitchell. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. We are are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal.
Cycle. 55. Here we go. Check.
Now a play fake. Lance. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Danny Gray from 4 yards out. And the Niners are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. But he will not make it into the end zone. He stops short, and that might spell an end to their chances as this stays a 3-score game. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think they might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before he trotted out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let them go out there with a little bit more confidence.
Mayfield on play action. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To throw, Mayfield. He's going to air one out. He's got him in, complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. On 3rd down, here's Walker. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 53 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive linemen, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Kenneth Walker A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth quarter lead. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week one because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Now a draw play. It's Walker. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Lance to throw it. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find.
And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
Straight ahead, Walker. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for third down. Throwing, Mayfield. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know what's really strange? I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like one time a week. The best teams I know, they practice starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0. This was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the Seahawks, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't